Live.
From Nashville.
We are from Nashville. Okay.
I'm gonna put my guitar pick.
I gotta rebind the middle button. Yeah, the middle button died on the mouse like 1 minute. 1 minute before the stream was supposed to start, the mouse middle button dies. And so you use the middle button in Minecraft to pick the block. So if I wanted to like switch to that block,
Yeah.
I can point at it and it switches what I'm working with, right?
Oh, to like pick, like select.
Yeah.
I thought you meant pickaxe.
No.
Pick.
No, like this is a pickaxe. But like if I wanted to switch from the pickaxe to the specific block I'm looking at, you use the pick block button, which is the middle mouse button. And the middle mouse button on my mouse just died. Like absolute worst timing. So thank you all for your patience with us as we start a minute or two late.
Terrible
Absolute worst timing. Terrible timing.
We are rebound.
Okay.
In the Lord.
Oh boy, the mouse sensitivity on this mouse is lower.
Mm.
Also apparently.
Oh, could you put your well, let's just do it.
What do you need?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's not your fault. It's just how it was.
Okay, cool. Yeah, welcome everyone.
Hey.
I'm trying to get over here to this text file that has all the links in it, and the mouse is like needs to go at like 8 extra kilometers to get there. Okay, yeah, we're gonna. Is there a built-in Windows mouse sensitivity thing? Because I don't install the special mouse drivers. Let's see. I am mouse settings, maybe? Cursor speed, yeah, there we go. It's on 10.
Curse your speed.
Okay, this feels a little more natural.
That's more natural now.
A little bit zippy. Cool, cool,
Getting
cool.
zippy with you and how.
Okay. We're gonna turn it up in game 2 here.
Turning it up in game. Good morning,
Sensitivity.
people at home.
130.
Transit biker ass, is that a wild Quinn? Yes, it is. I cannot be tamed.
Never.
You may try to tame me, but you never will. Because I cannot be contained by a Pokeball. No, no. Even a Master Ball would never hold me in.
Quinn knocked it away.
That's something I can do. What are we doing today? What's going on?
I'm putting in some plywood stuff here. So this is like the plywood on the bottom right side of the cabinet. So like, let's go outside for a second, or underneath the pinball machine for a second, which is this way. I can't go that fast.
Sub-Pinranian.
Yeah. Transit Biker says, new mouse or just dialing it in for the task? This is a reserve mouse.
What happened to the non-reserve mouse, the main mouse?
The middle mouse button stopped working.
Oh, I thought you were able to get it work.
No, I swapped it out directly. I'm like, I spent 2 minutes trying to troubleshoot it, and then I'm like, this is why we keep spares around, so we can just plug them in.
That's okay. My computer is stuck on a blue screen of death right now,
Oh,
so
no.
I haven't been able to fix it in the past few days.
Do you have a Windows computer you use for streaming in addition to your Mac laptop?
Yeah, that's my streaming PC.
Oh, that's nice.
It installed an update the other day, and then just goes to blue screen. It won't let me use a recovery save or whatever. And so I think my only option is to reinstall Windows but keep personal files. I think that's one of the options. I don't know what else.
Can you boot into safe mode and back up your files first, just in case the Windows wipe doesn't actually preserve your personal files?
Yeah, I should try to do that.
Yeah, because one of the other hermits, I can't say who, actually had a basically
Confidential.
It had exactly that happen to him, and he's just spent 2 or 3 days trying to troubleshoot it, and ended
that
up.
happened this week.
Yeah, like
It's probably
it
the
might have been
exact
the
same
exact
thing.
same error, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, he had to boot into safe mode to copy his files over, and then just do a complete system wipe.
Wow. My word.
So yeah,
'Cause
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's got my capture card in there. Yeah, I kind of need it. So.
Yeah. I'm not saying you don't need the computer. I'm saying you might want to.
I want the file.
You can't count on getting the files back
are inside
in this
the computer.
situation
Yeah.
with the install but keep personal files.
I don't trust that. That's why I haven't done it yet. So.
Yeah. Try and get the files in safe mode. But yeah, did you watch any of WWDC? Speaking of Microsoft being
I did watch
frustrating.
WWDC, which sounds like it's a wrestling federation.
Yeah,
of some
that's the
sort.
Worldwide District of Columbia, everybody.
Yeah. I did watch that. I was kind of excited by the Vision Pro until I saw the price, and now I'm not excited at all.
I mean, I really didn't expect it to be affordable. It looks like a dev kit, and it's priced like a dev kit.
Yeah, it's also not like... When I knew they were working on this stuff, and I'm thinking about, like, Google Glass, I thought it would be a little more streamlined, but I mean... It seems like it's primarily a VR headset, which...
Yeah.
That just happens to have AR, so we shouldn't expect people to be, like, wearing it around in their everyday lives, right?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to a lot of people wearing VR headsets during the pandemic, because I couldn't talk to people other ways very easily.
Yeah, like, I don't have a VR headset, and you refuse to talk to me at all. So
that's why
because you're
didn't
like, no,
really
there's a
communicate.
pandemic on. If you don't have a VR headset on,
Yeah, it's
then
not safe.
Exactly.
But like, realistically, there's gonna be some early adopters who buy it for like one specific thing. But like most people, no, they're not gonna buy it, and it's not gonna be helpful for their use cases.
No.
But like for especially if you're doing any sort of, you know how Microsoft HoloLens was primarily sold for industrial uses. So like basically, let's say that you worked on cell phone towers, right?
Sure. Let's say that I work on cell phone towers.
They would actually have the workers on these things. They would have a technician drive 2 hours from the base or whatever to this tower, climb up there with a HoloLens on, and basically be reporting back to a guy at a desk at headquarters. Hey, here's what I'm seeing. It looks like this to me.
Oh, wow.
And the guy would like draw an arrow on the guy's screen and be like, or on the guy's glasses and say, okay, hey, open this panel. Make sure you shut that off first, like coloring on.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so for certain industrial type applications where basically you would be a field guy with the HoloLens on to train to be the chair guy.
Oh, I see.
But once you got good enough at this, they couldn't afford to have you spend 2 hours driving to a site
Right.
all the time. So they have the junior guys do the driving to the site, and the senior guys, basically troubleshooting remotely.
See, this is what they should do for pinball machine repairs. Give Joe Hills a HoloLens, and Joe Hills drives around, and then the guy in the chair tells him what to do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would be a really cool way to learn. So, I could see there being, like, specific uses where even at the current price point, if you're already, like, if you have 300 or 400 HoloLenses deployed at your company, you're looking at this and going, that looks way safer in terms of field of view and stuff than the HoloLens. Like, there are going to be companies that buy hundreds of units of this, even at the dev kit price.
Right.
And so, Apple can make back their money on the R&D pretty quick while they refine the technology to get it to a consumer price point.
Right.
I guess what I'm saying is people are like, wow, Apple's really lost it here. It's like, no, it's just not for you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you go into the bookstore and you're like, there's a whole section of scary stories to tell in the dark here. It's like, yeah, well, some people like scary stories. I don't. Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Some of these scary stories books are
Or-
more expensive than I'd like. That's fine.
Yeah, or what if you live in Alaska at the time of the year where there really is no dark? How are you
Yeah.
gonna? That book's not for you.
Yeah. I think that some of the stuff is some of the stuff they demoed is kind of silly. The FaceTime without the avatar like is too uncanny valley. And that's
Yeah, it's
like-
like okay, you can see them, but what are they seeing of you?
well, because that's the thing is like I've when I've played a lot of not walkabout golf. Yeah, it is walkabout golf.
Walkabout.
Yeah, walkabout VR golf.
Yeah.
Like you create an avatar, and you just move around, and based on what noises you're making, it it animates the mouth and whatever.
Sure.
And big screen VR, which is where you watch movies together in the same room.
Right.
Has something similar. Scott Denisi, who designed Total Nuclear Annihilation, I've hung out with him in a few of these different VR contexts. And one of the things he said to me is, Joe, I gotta say, you are better at making VR avatars than almost anyone I've interacted with. Your avatar looks exactly like you, except a cartoon. And I'm like, I think I'm just a very generic looking person. Like I'm just adjusting sliders and pulling things off a list here. I'm just such a generic looking person that the VR tools cater to me. Whereas most of the people look way more interesting, and then the VR tools fall flat.
I don't know. I think because of what you do for a living, you look at yourself more often than most people do.
So I'm just better at picking.
Exactly. So you're like, okay, I know what this avatar is supposed to look like. You're just more familiar with your face than most people.
Maybe you are. Maybe there is something to that. Okay. Well, thank you, Scott Denisi, for having confidence in me.
Just
Even when I didn't.
accept the compliment.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You don't have to. Scott Denisi seems like an intelligent person.
Yeah.
Knows what he's talking about. So.
Yeah, it's funny because when I met Jane Veris, who's a pinball player from Chicago, at the Chicago Pinball Expo last year, it was kind of like we had played VR golf together a few times, or at least once,
I
and
think it's pronounced ver.
VR golf.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and like at one point she's like, Where did we meet before this? I know I've hung out with you before in real life, but I don't think we've ever been at the same convention before." I'm like, "No, it wasn't real life. It was VR golf." And she's like, "Oh my god, that's it. Your face is just like exactly the same." I'm like, "It's not. It's
So
a
that's two
cartoon."
people.
But like,
and also, not only do you have like the most accurate to life avatar,
yeah,
hanging out with Joe Hills in VR is exactly like hanging out with Joe Hills in real life.
apparently, yeah.
Like you got those two things going for you.
Yeah. I should mention, Quinn and I are splitting tips today. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/Joe Hills and YouTube Super Chat. Yeah, another interesting thing about that VR
Oh, should we
headset.
talk about our goals?
Yeah. I'm so excited talking about VR stuff, but yeah, we should talk about our goals, because you drove all the way across town to be here.
All the way across.
All town.
the way.
Yep. And so, what is our first goal if we hit 180 degrees of rotation, $1 per degree
Yeah.
of rotation?
Can we give the context?
Yeah, you can give the context.
So
Uh-oh.
my niece, Joe's daughter, is heading out of town for the summer, and her favorite artist is Taylor Swift, and she may be watching us right now. I don't know, but not like directly behind you.
I mean,
Joe.
she might be
She's
watching from the hallway.
She's watching. But so we wanted to do some Taylor Swift songs for her. So at the $180 level, I will sing "Shake It Off" by T Swift. And
Ooh, T-Swift.
by T Swift. And then this will be a fun one. At the 360 Beetlejuice level, the Beetlejuice will perform All Too Well, the 10-minute version.
Which I have never studied.
Which he has never studied. So that could be fun. I think it'd be fun. You know, and I might do some backup singing.
Well, I was going to say, I think that as we approach that 360 mark to build some hype, you could do some coaching of me. You know, like, we could pull up the lyrics and you could be like, you're going to maybe want to have the Beetlejuice approach it like this, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that way it's not a complete...
Sure. I'll give you some notes. I'll explain the song and the performance of it from a dramaturgical standpoint.
Yeah.
And it'll be good. It'll be good.
Okay, so yeah, we are going to talk about physical fitness and the show Quantum Leap later in the show.
Yes.
That is in the hopper, but this
it's in the hopper, but we're still talking about
WWDC.
baby, WWDC.
Triforce tips 20 and says, "Let's get it started then.
Let's get it started. Yeah. Thank you, Triforce.
So we're gonna go ahead and rotate.
Oh my!
What? What? Turbo Jacks just tipped 3 hundo. That's gonna get us up to 320.
Jacks.
He says,
Thank
let it be so.
Turbo Jacks. Okay, we're $40 away from our 360
So
goal,
I
but
think
I'll start singing our 180
pull
song.
up, shake it off, and we're gonna have to do some real quick coaching on that all too well 10-minute version.
I think it's better without coaching.
I think I should have a fundamental understanding of the rough meter.
No.
Okay, so we're gonna. The camera is out of. Oh no! It was not. Whoops, hold on. Yeah, the camera was off there. We rotated clear off the screen.
Shall I begin?
Yeah, you could start while I'm rotating. Thank you, Turbo Jacks.
I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say.
Ooh.
That's what people say.
Ooh.
I go on too many dates. I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. I could just cruising. I can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Cause the haters are gonna play. And the haters gonna hey. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off, shake. Heartbreak is gonna break. And the fake is gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. I never miss a beat. I'm lightning on my feet. That's what they don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own. I make the moves up as I go. That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. But I keep on cruising. I can't stop, won't stop grooving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Cause the player's gonna play. And the hater's gonna hey. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. A heartbreaker's gonna break. The fake is gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. Shake it off. Oh, shake it off. Shake it off. Oh, shake it off. Shake it off. Hey, just think. Well, it's not over yet. Well, you've been getting down and out, and the liars and dirty cheats of the world. You could have been getting down to this sick beats. My ex-man brought his new girlfriend, and she's like, oh my god, I'm just gonna shake it to the fella over there. Let the hella good hair. Won't you come on, baby woman? Shake, shake. Yeah. Cause the player's gonna play. And the hater's gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. Heartbreaker's gonna break. Faker's gonna fake. I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. You're too distracted about the song. That's the song. I shake it off. That's it. I'm like, I'm trying to.
I'm sorry, I actually hit the guitar at one point.
I've got this thing in my periphery that's like a jackhammer. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
I'm just having fun.
I'm
just gonna shake.
You're entitled to fun.
Yeah. So that puts us 40 away.
40 away
from our goal.
3. Should we make a stretch goal at this point?
We'll come up with the stretch goal after that.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Boy, we got another tip rolling in. Hold on. It's only showing up on the phone. Give me a second while I pull that up.
All good.
Whew, we got 5 rolling in from Lauren, who says, for Quinn, and tips 5. So that's going to bring us up to 325.
Thank you, Lauren.
We are splitting these tips 50-50. I'm very excited that Quinn is here. I hope y'all are too.
I'm glad I'm here. Champagne problems.
Morgoth's Demise says, first time in your stream. Love your dancing. Glam Pixie says, please tell me Beetlejuice is going to do Love Story. Apparently, I'm going to be doing
All Too Well. The
okay.
10-minute version.
You need to coach me on what the rough meter is.
Rough meter.
Of All Too Well. Okay. Lyrics. Okay, wow. So this is
10 minutes.
So I walked through the door with you, the air was cold.
Something about it felt like home somehow. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house. You still got it in your drawer. Did we hit 360?
Turbo Jax just tipped 40
Oh my gosh.
and yelled 3, 2, 1, go. Hit it. Ooh up. Do do be do up. Do do be do up. Do do be bow 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 bow. I walked through the door with you, the air was cold. Yeah. Okay, so, alrighty, it's me, the Beetlejuice. We're here. I'm gonna sing All Too Well, Taylor Swift's version.
And you know this song not too well.
Is there a refrain to this?
Yeah.
Is the refrain? What's the rough meter of the refrain? I gotta have heard this at some point. Like,
there we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. Wind in my hair. I was there.
okay,
Oh, wait.
okay.
Do you get it?
I think I get the core concept. I walked through the door with you. The air was cold, but something about it felt like home somehow. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you've still got it in your drawer even now. Oh, your sweet disposition and my wide-eyed gaze. We're singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place, and I can picture it after all these days. And I know it's been gone, and the magic's not here no more, and I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all! 'Cause they are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. I was there.
I remember it all too
Photo album on the counter. Your cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed. And your mother's telling stories about you on the t-ball team. You told me about your past, thinking your future was me.
And you were tossing me the car.
Why'd you throw me those car keys? And now it's long gone, and there's nothing else I could do. And I forgot about you long enough to forget what I needed to. 'Cause there we are again, in the middle of the night. We're dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light. Down the stairs, I was there. I remember it all too well, yeah. And maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe do we want to close the window while the guys are taking out the trash?
I think you might have the non 10-minute version lyrics though.
Oh, wait, where do I 10-minute lyrics, hold on.
We don't want to deprive them.
No, they paid for the 10-minute version. We're gonna close the window while the garbage truck guys go by, because they're about to go do the beep beep thing.
Beep, beep. This is all part of the. We're still in the song.
Yeah, we're still in the song. This is part of the song, and we're closing all the windows, and they're beep beeping the truck. Okay, the 10-minute version lyrics on Google are not the 10-minute version lyrics. Okay, so let me try this website here. So you say this thing about the car keys.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Can we say the F word?
I mean, I don't know. I think I set this to mature. And you're tossing me. Wait, hold on. Should we bring this back to photo albums on the counter at the beginning of verse 3?
Yeah.
Okay. You'd be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed, and your mother's telling stories about you on the t-ball team. They taught me about your past, thinking your future was me. And you're tossing me the car keys, F the patriarchy, keychain on the ground. We were always skipping town, and I was thinking on the drive down. Anytime now he's gonna say it's love. You never called it what it was. Till we were dead and gone and buried. Check the pulse and come back swearing it's the same. After 3 months in the grave. And then you wondered where it went as I reached for you. But all I felt was shame, and you held my helpless frame. I know it's long gone, and there's nothing else I could do, and I can't get you long enough to forget why I needed to. 'Cause there we are again in the middle of the night. We were dancing around the kitchen in the refrigerator light. Down the stairs, I was there. I remember it all too well. And there we are again when nobody had to know. You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. Sacred prayer, and we'd swear to remember it all too well. Bridge attack! Well, maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much. But maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it up! Running scared. I was there. I remember it all too well. And you call me up again, just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here, 'cause I remember it all. They say all's well that ends well, but I'm in a new hell every time you double-cross my mind. You said if we had been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine. I'm 400, what do you want? And that made me want to die. The idea you had of me, who was she? A never needy, ever lovely jewel whose shine reflects on you, not weeping in a party bathroom. Some actress asking me what happened to you. Yeah, that's what happened to you. You who charmed my dad with self-effacing jokes, sipping coffee. Like you're on a late night show. But then he watched me watch the door all night, willing you to come, and he said it's supposed to be fun, turning 21.
Interlude.
Oh. Interlude. I don't know what I sing during the interlude.
Time won't fly.
Feel like I'm paralyzed by it. Would like to feel my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. Plaid shirt days and nights when you made me your own. And now you mail back my things and I walk home alone. But you kept my old scar from that very first week, 'cause it reminds you of innocence and smells like pee. You can't get rid of it, 'cause you remember it all too well.
Yeah.
'Cause there we are again when I loved you so. Back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. It was rare, I was there, I remember it all too well. Wind in my hair, you were there, you remember it all. Down the stairs, you were there, you remember it all. It was rare, I was there, I remember it all too well. And I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age. From when your Brooklyn broke, my skin and bones, I'm a soldier who's returning half her weight. And did the twin flame bruise paint you blue? Just between us, did the love maim you too? 'Cause in this city's barren cold, I still remember the first fall of snow, and how it glistened as it fell. I remember it all too well. Just between us, did the love there maim you all too well? Just between us, do you remember it all too well? Just between us, I remember it. Just between us, all too well. Wind in my hair, I was there, I was there. Down the stairs, I was there. Sacred prayer, I was there, I was there. It was rare, you remember it all too well. Sacred prayer, it was rare. Wind in my hair, down the stairs, I was there, I was there. Sacred prayer, I was there, I was there. It was rare, you remember it. Wind in my hair, I was there, I was there. It was rare. You remember it. Fun fact, the actress in the bathroom there is Mary-Kate Olsen.
Oh, wow.
I know. Okay, so apologies to everyone who likes that song, because I thought we would have more time.
They like it more now.
Hopefully they like it more now, yeah.
Or
I thought we'd have more time to prepare.
Song, maybe now you do like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, we do need to set a new goal. Craig Sirota says, my morning meeting went a little long and I missed most of the Beetlejuice song all too well. Well, don't worry, Craig. It'll be on the VOD, hopefully. Scarpula says it was funny when you said you were 400 years old. Well, hey, Beetlejuice is like over 400. And so, it's not surprising that this guy's lovers all stay the same age, even though I keep getting older, It's just a prime age to be. I mean, it's not literally a prime number. What's the nearest prime number to 400? 401, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
401.
Let's load up Wolfram Alpha. We gotta fact check this.
Wolfram Alpha. There's a vibe you can
Nearest
watch.
prime to 400. 401! Yeah! I was right!
399. Not a prime.
No. Yeah. Ah, boy. So here we are.
Yeah, 133 times 3.
Oh no! Well, how did I do that twice?
What did you do?
I jumped in the lava a second time.
What did you do?
Okay. It's fine. So
what do
what?
we want to make it 540 or what?
No, I think we go for 720.
720.
At this point. And
Yeah, let's go. No half measures.
yeah, no half measures here. What would be a good
would Mike Herman
Beetlejuice
do?
Taylor Swift song? Are there any Taylor Swift songs that have like a lot of like call and reply type stuff? Because I love the call and reply type stuff as the Beetlejuice.
Well,
What was that thing that there's like an Ice Spice version of something? What if you do the Ice Spice parts and I do the Taylor
Karma?
Swift parts? Yeah, would that work?
yeah, let me see. Okay, here it is.
My Ice Spice says you better be nice. Because I'm the Beetlejuice. What's the new target? The new target is 720.
720.
And we are currently 355 away from that.
What's the closest prime number to 720?
Luckily, I still got Wolf from Alpha. Okay, but
719.
Okay, you're gonna guess 719. I'm gonna guess 727.
727.
Okay, so let's see. 719, you were right.
Yay!
So we're both 1 for 1 on the prime number guessing game.
Hey.
Hey. That's entertainment, people. Hey, do you want to watch a show where people guess what the nearest prime number is to other numbers? I don't know if that's really for me. Well, what if the people guessing were siblings? Oh, okay, man. That sounds okay. Now I'm back in.
Wait, people just guessed where we're siblings?
No, I'm saying like the why isn't anybody else doing this prime number guessing game thing? And I'm like, well, because you got to have the sibling element, or it just falls apart.
Well, I learned the other night that someone at the pinball bar does not think we were siblings.
Oh,
They
yeah.
thought I was Corinne's biological mother, which I guess would make you my partner, which is very strange to me.
Yeah, especially because you're.
I'm not gonna dive into that.
Yeah, well, you're always buying stuff on your own tab too. I was like, that should have been like the most obvious clue.
Some people who are in relationships always split everything, you know, or
I
do their
guess.
own tabs.
Yeah.
You know, keep their
Turbo Jacks with
Turbo
another 160. Woo!
Jacks!
Thank you very much, Turbo Jacks. That's gonna get us up.
Thank you, Turbo Jacks, for being extra turbo.
Okay, well, so it's gonna bring us to 165 plus 360. I've got to keep track of the rotation here. So
What was that, 425?
that sounds right. So,
sounds right.
so I'm bringing it up to 165 here.
165.
Jill Jackson writes, "Happy Pride, Jill Jackson."
Happy Pride. We're doing a Pride stream on Sunday.
Yeah, we got the Pride Parade on my Patreon server, hosted by Team Gamers. Although
I'll be a judge on that.
yeah,
I'll
and
be playing
musical
some of
guest.
my original songs that have Pride themes and maybe some other Pride-related songs.
Yeah, now that's gonna be a paid gig. Like, whereas with this, it's like Quinn only just gets half the tips. But like, I'm actually paying Quinn like a flat rate to come and perform her own music as a set during the build contest. The build contest, the folks will have an hour to build. I will say, when we got to that Taylor Swift lyric about the wide-eyed gaze, I was like, I'm kind of surprised that wasn't the name of that outpost, but whatever, that's fine.
I've met some wide-eyed gays.
But yeah, so yeah, Quinn is going to be doing a set during the parade. Basically, we'll fly around, look at the builds. Quinn will do a song, fly around, look at the builds as they go, then judge at the end. So.
Yes, then I will cast my final judgment upon ye all.
Final judgment. Kendall says the closest prime number to 4. I mean, that's going to be a tie between 3 and 5. That one's kind of too easy. Meanwhile, Lady Vaporeon says, what's the nearest prime number to 5879?
Is it not 5879?
That was actually what that sounds like a prime number, but yeah.
Is proximity to thine own self the closest one can be?
Yeah, I don't know. I try to, be myself wherever I can, so that's why.
Yep. Everywhere I go, there I am.
Yeah. Man, that should be a bumper sticker.
It should be.
Oh man, I've been
I brake for trains. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Yeah. That actually was pretty good. Oh man. So before we had our runaway wild rotations and Taylor Swift songs, thank you again to Turbo Jax
ran
and
away.
everybody else who tipped.
Thank you.
We are now let me 60 minus 165. We are now 195 away from our next song, which we're gonna do the Karma Ice Spice version. Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about WWDC and VR.
But there's also a lot of other announcements at WWDC.
Yeah, I'm.
Do we want to talk about those? Or
Yeah, we can talk about the Mac Pro.
Mac Pro. Tell me, does it suit your needs?
And
I just want to say, like, the ARM chip on that thing is massive.
Well, okay.
It's
So
ultra.
the only real difference between the Mac Pro and the Mac Studio with the M2 Ultra is the PCI slots,
Which you desire.
which I want, but I don't $7,000 want them. And
I don't think I $7,000 want anything.
yeah, no, I don't either. So I would, if it was closer to 5, because they've had Mac Pros launch at $5,000 before.
How much does a comparable Mac Studio cost?
Let me pull that up. So the comparable Mac Studio is the M2 Ultra Mac Studio. If we click order now, I think it starts at 4,000.
Okay.
And if I select that, 64 gigs of memory is enough. 1 terabyte of storage is okay. I'd probably up it to 2 terabytes.
Yeah.
So that's 4,400
And it has the M2 Ultra in it?
with the M2 Ultra.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically for
save you quite a few
Say-
pennies there.
yeah, and like it's one of those things where it's like the big thing too with the Mac Pro is that would be ideally for doing big multi-camera stuff where I'm doing direct HDMI capture of cameras.
Right, which is why you want the PCIe.
Yeah.
So you can get one of those, like, 4 input video cards.
But the Mac Studio has a decent enough ports on the back. If I needed to, I could just get some like a Thunderbolt to HDMI capture solution.
One of those hubs or something.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but
it's travel size.
it's way more travel sized.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say the Mac Pro is travel sized at all.
No. But like yeah, I'm definitely curious about I want to see the real world benchmarks come back for the M2 Ultra versus the M2 Max for Final Cut Pro. Cuz if there's a huge difference with my workloads, then it might be worth upgrading to the M2 Ultra on the Mac Studio.
Yeah.
Otherwise, honestly, Microsoft has just been screwing up nonstop. I'm seriously considering the M2 Max Studio.
M2 to the max.
Yeah. You get half as many video and encode and decode dedicated processor cores, and those are where you get a huge performance jump in Final Cut Pro.
Might as well jump.
But at the same time, like, I'm not usually doing 20 camera, multi-camera editing. You know, I'm not doing live sports events or whatever. So I might be able to get by with just twice as many as I have now, instead of 4 times as many. Either way, it would be a huge step up versus my current M1 editing setup on my laptop.
Ooh, NJ Coffee Junkie says, "Sup peeps."
TurboJack says, not a big fan of the new Apple chipset. You know, it really depends on your software. Like, for what I'm doing, where I'm using Final Cut Pro, like, I got the very first M1 laptop that came out to test Final Cut Pro on it, and the performance jump for me was huge versus the Intel stuff. Now, if you're doing anything
Yeah, if
that
you're
is
doing anything that's not software made by Apple.
You're gonna have a very different experience. But for my particular use case, the amount of time I save in the power efficiency versus Intel for Final Cut Pro was huge jump. I could travel without plugging in my laptop a lot longer.
That's real nice.
Do I have any opinions on the current Twitch policy changes?
Oh.
Oh yeah, Twitch says you have to get written permission in advance to simulcast now. So I need.
You're just doing it anyway.
No, I'm gonna write them for written permission.
Okay, but when is that effective as of?
July 1st.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you have some time.
So I have time. But yeah, I'm sure that they'll get right back to me with that, and it'll be everybody's making a big deal out of this, but Twitch is really reasonable. If you send them a letter, they'll send you a letter back with written permission, and it'll be fine.
Well, because that used to apply only to affiliates and partners, but now it applies to everyone.
Gotcha.
Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, now applies to everyone, which is why I wasn't an affiliate or partner.
Yeah.
TurboJax says, for Final Cut Pro, M1 or M2 would be fine. The biggest issue for me would be I use Vagrant, and the new Apple chipsets don't support Java like that at all. Yeah, if you're working with stuff that doesn't have great support, because like there is an ARM Java SDK out there, which is good enough for running Minecraft, but it's honestly not where I'd like it to be. We need a better LWJGL support, and if you're using Vagrant too, and there's other dependencies and stuff that you're just not getting coverage for, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, JGL.
WJGL.
JGL was pretty good in that movie Brick. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that. Is it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, I want to have had seen it.
He was in that movie with Bruce Willis, Looper.
I haven't seen that
Bruce
either.
Willis. I don't think you've seen any JGL movies.
No, I don't think so.
That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but you might have seen him on Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh, wait, no. He was in Community. He played, What? No, he was.
That's like, if you ever met him in person, you'd be like, oh, yeah, you're from Community.
Yeah, no, there was an episode with a bunch of, Oh, wait, no, maybe that was French Stewart.
Yeah, I think it was
That was French Stewart.
Okay.
My bad. No, then I have no idea who this guy is.
I'm trying to think of, like, because he doesn't really do, like, major franchise movies.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like DiCaprio doesn't do them either. Like, he hasn't been in a Marvel or something you would have seen him in.
No, that's fine.
I don't know. Did you see the movie Inception?
Is that the one with the corn? No, that's Interstellar.
Same director, though.
Yeah, I knew it was a Christopher Nolan movie. I was close at that time.
You were close.
I haven't seen... Oh, he was Robin in the Christian Bale Batman. Oh, was he the cop? That was, like, kind of the,
Yeah, The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. Nightwing guy.
That's cool. Shalom says, would you become a Twitch partner now that the simulcasting thing is not going to affect you one way or the other with the partnership? No, it's still a bad contract. And, like, it's actually getting worse. They're changing a bunch of stuff to make it more restrictive. And, yeah, no.
Are they losing that badly to YouTube? What do you think is the impetus for all this? Just because they can?
I think that it's probably a top-down thing from Amazon, where it's like, you guys need to be making more money and spending less money. And it's
they're gonna pay us less money.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I think it's like the Walmart squeezing the manufacturers thing. They figure if they squeeze constantly, everybody will just be like, well, that's part of the game.
Yeah, I don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I want my product to be featured at Walmart, so
yeah,
this is what I have to do.
Haven't they spent the last couple days walking that back? Yeah, but like not because they don't want to do it or don't plan to do it still, but because they got. It's just yeah. They're gonna keep doing dumb stuff is the thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's one of the reasons that I'm also streaming to joehills.net/live. This is an experimental feature. It takes a second to load, but yeah. I know some people can't watch on YouTube and are gonna. Oh, hopefully this works at all. Although, I might have acceleration turned off in the browser.
Yeah, and there was a point that was made. I was watching a clip of a WGA writer who's on strike, and the name of the writer escapes me. But what this person was basically saying is, it used to be that entertainment companies were run by people who came up in the entertainment business.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had like a certain understanding and respect for how things work creatively.
Mm-hmm.
But now all entertainment is basically being run by tech companies who are just all about the bottom line. Optimization, and they weren't working at talent agencies as assistants, and they weren't learning the business like the past people running entertainment companies. And, Twitch is an entertainment company, but they don't have people who know entertainment running it and making the decisions.
Well, and that's kind of one of the things about Patreon. So Patreon was created by a guy who was like a guitarist, right? Mm-hmm. And so ostensibly he's like, I know what people want who are aspiring entertainers. And he realized real quick that after about 3 years of running Patreon, he no longer knew what it was like to be a guitarist, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
And he's like, okay, so I keep thinking this is a good change. People will like this. And people are like, no, you idiot. You have a salary. You don't understand the reality of our situation.
Right.
We're all going to be hating. And so basically he's just like, okay, I'm just not going to change anything unless a bunch of people demand it. And everybody's like, awesome.
That's a good call.
That's a good way to do it. Because he's like, clearly we've got something that works here. And even if I'm now too out of touch to understand why it works.
Well, and that's the thing is the creators are the ones making you money. And that applies to Patreon. That applies to Twitch. That applies to Twitter even, like, we're generating content for you for free, so why are you making us pay to have basic functionality?
Well, and I will say one thing that's different about Twitter is it's not just entertainers generating them.
No,
because it's also a lot of
it's
journalists.
Sure.
Yeah. Like journalists, meteorologists, like the amount of real-time traffic information shared over Twitter is there's all sorts of stuff.
But like that's the main point is the users are generating the content.
So Blightstorm says we need a platform run by creators, and .bit Gaming says, can I stream on joehills.net? No, and because the reason for that is I disagree with Blightstorm. I don't think we need a platform run by creators. I think we need people to be able to self-publish.
Oh, I think we need a creator run by platforms.
It's just that's what.
Oh wait, that's what we're already up against. You're right.
That's what Twitch is. Twitch is like, we're gonna replace all these random streamers with AI in 10 months anyway. So who cares if they all bounce?
No.
I mean that's the inevitable end of VTubing.
Yeah.
Like,
and they'll just have randomly generated names and randomly generated VTube avatars.
Yeah. Somebody
randomly generated voices, and they'll be like, hey y'all, I'm PewDiePie. That's just a made-up name from the AI. And I'm playing Minecraft.
Yeah, the pi is spelled PAI because it's artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like somebody at Twitch is looking at this and going, oh, we won't even need the streamers in a year, so who cares? Like, we can do all of this in tech.
Yeah. It's pretty sad when we've become obsolete.
Well, so that's what I'm saying.
And I don't know what we're supposed to do with that.
Well, that's what I'm saying is we publish our own stuff. That's why me setting up this joehills.net/live thing is important, because if I tried to make a new streaming platform to replace Twitch, there's no way that I can afford to do that without basically taking on so much debt that I'd end up having to do a bunch of the stupid stuff that Twitch is doing in the first place to try and pay it back.
Right.
Right? I just don't have the upfront cash to pull off building a platform. But I can afford to self-host my own live streams or to pay someone to host them for me that doesn't care about the programming quality or what ads I show because I'm just paying them for hosting.
Right. Or we need a platform that is owned by someone who already has a bunch of profitable companies and doesn't care that they lose money.
Yeah. Now
this streaming platform.
The challenge about that though is that they won't necessarily care about generating revenue opportunities for
the creators.
For the creators, yeah.
That
So
loses something.
yeah, so you do lose something there if there's no profit motive.
It has to be a balance. I suppose.
But like, I mean, for right now, I've got this joehill.net/live thing set up, and it's not perfect. If I needed to, I would drastically improve the technology. But the big thing, though, is that you lose discoverability. You need to be good at word of mouth, which, honestly, that's doing that Tumblr contest. I feel like my stuff is not optimized for the algorithm, but I do okay with word of mouth.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm kind of future-proof to some degree here, but not everybody is. Joju says, self-hosting is a nightmare for anyone just entering the space. You need the initial investment. You're not wrong. But, I mean, that was true in webcomics, too.
Yep.
You know? And so people were starting, like, their comic on Blogspot and then moving to a web host later when they could afford a domain name. And so you'll probably have something similar where people are like, well, I'm going to start off on Facebook Live, but then as soon as I get enough money to buy a URL and pay for hosting, I'll move over there.
Right.
Dotbit Gaming says, the thing is you need your streams hosted for free. I don't, though. And, like, neither do any of the hermits. Any of the hermits could pay to have, like, we're not going away at this. It's the kids starting out that are going to struggle. And that's where, you know, and that's why Twitch was trying so hard to lock people into these bad affiliate contracts early. Because they know if we can get the kids locked in early, then they're not going to go self-host or do their own thing somewhere else later. But, like, if people's goal was, hey, I started out doing free streaming on Twitch or Facebook, but my real goal is to become a self-hosted streamer instead of a partnered streamer, like, that's the future I think that we need to be working toward. Where the expectation is your goal is to become a self-hosted streamer.
Have your own channel.
Yeah, like...
on your own website.
I understand that that's not a starting point, but I think it's a safer end point than your end point being partnered.
I'm going to open up my Joe Hills app.
I was actually thinking a lot
Hills.
about making a Joe Hills app yesterday. Like, because I've been listening to the WWDC sessions about Swift and stuff.
WWDC.
Yeah. So,
Swift, which is why we chose those songs today.
yeah, we're celebrating WWDC this week by singing Taylor Swift songs. Okay, I love that. We are 195 away from singing Karma, our next goal. Yeah. Oh, boy. Glam Pixie says it's going to harm small creators and marginalized creators most of all. I think that I understand why that's a fear, but I feel like realistically what's more likely to happen in the short term, not having access to Amazon's free hosting service is going to be bad for marginalized creators.
Yeah.
But in the midterm, we start talking about, like, okay, there might be somebody who's like, I don't have enough money to create a Twitch competitor, but I have enough money to host 30 streamers on my server, right?
Yeah.
And so marginalized people helping out other marginalized creators creating small streaming communities. Here, this streaming website has 30 streamers. That one has 20, right? Not like anyone can sign up for free, but like, hey, if Janie Laney went around and said, hey, I'm creating a streaming server for Black Minecraft, and I need $300 a month to host these 15 marginalized creators.
Right.
Janie could get that $300 a month. Because that's the other thing is we're talking about, and like, so I understand, like, okay, if one of those creators is a 15-year-old kid who doesn't have $300 a month, it's hard for them to do it.
Sure.
But if they can prove to somebody like Janie, like, hey, I deserve to be in this space.
Right. And let's say the person hosting has a Patreon or something.
Yeah.
Where that can be funded.
And so I think that
it could also be like an application process. You want to be hosted by me.
Yeah.
Send in your application, some videos you've made or whatever.
Yeah. Shalom says, I love the idea of a decentralized system like that, but I can't see it succeeding. Well, I can't see Twitch succeeding.
Yeah.
Like, they've shown us that they're either too scared or too greedy to do this right.
Too many variables.
And so we need to be exploring the technology and the systems that would underpin alternate solutions.
Yeah.
It would be irresponsible for people like me to not be preparing for this.
Would you be able to host me?
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm saying is, like, at the point where I'm...
Could people watch my streams on the Joe Hills app as well?
Yeah, so that's the thing is I could... Now...
In the Joe-verse.
With my scale, I might not be able to easily host multiple simultaneous streams.
That's fine.
Right? But if
if
I was rating you anyway, if our streams weren't over... So, like...
We'll just make it a scheduled...
Yeah, because that's the other thing, is it's way cheaper to do one stream at a time, in terms of, like, the back-end hardware and stuff, than to do 25 simultaneous streams.
Right.
And so, yeah, you could... Basically what I'm describing is, for a relatively low price, you could timeshare servers. For slightly more, you could have simultaneous streams and stuff. Would I be integrating a chat system? Probably not. I think I would just straight up say, hey, $5 a month gets you on the Discord to chat. Like... Because that's the thing is providing free chat is the way a lot of people provide free chat is by not paying their moderators, and that's its own whole problem.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that. So that would be the other thing is if Quinn was like, hey, I do want to have free chat, join my IRC channel,
Right.
For free, then anybody could join that IRC channel during Quinn's show. Jason Barbolin says you could basically create a TV channel, pretty much. Yeah, you're not wrong. We're basically we're going back to basics.
It's like public access.
A lot of this stuff is proven to work. Like, you can get like-minded people together and make a channel, and because at the point
we
where
can schedule it around the clock, because we know people internationally who stream. So
yep. Now the biggest thing though is, like, from a certain standpoint, one thing I don't want to get too into, from a headache standpoint, is I don't want to get too into gatekeeping and approving people to stream on the channel.
Sure.
So, like, I'd be willing to do it for you because, like, we've known each other our entire lives and stuff, but, like, that's about where the minimum is for me on, like, because if somebody did do something that violated, like, the terms of service of the hosting company on stream, that becomes a nightmare. And that's, like...
Sure.
And I'd like to assume most of the people I would trust wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't want to launch this while dealing with figuring that out, too.
Sure.
But, yeah. Let's see. Jenny says, I miss IRC. Yeah, that's the thing is, we could go back to just hosting IRC chats. 'Cause, I mean, Twitch is basically running an IRC backend for the most part. So, Transit Biker says, this would suck for someone like me who has very little fixed resources. Well, the other thing is, too, like, you don't necessarily need to stream to the public to get the benefits of practicing streaming, you could like if Discord continues to like encourage people to share video,
Right.
you could basically use a Discord channel as a streaming thing within your community and not necessarily have to pay anything for that, right?
True.
So, like, I think in a lot of ways, so like for what I was using Ustream for early on, when I first started streaming, it was basically the same 4 to 8 people would randomly show up that I knew from conventions and say, hey, what's up, Joe? What are you up to today? Blah, blah, blah. And occasionally we would have some random people come in, but I don't know if any of those random people actually, like, stuck around in the long term or anything.
Right.
So, like, if I had just been on the Joe Hill's Discord streaming to that same group of people I knew from conventions,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been worse for me because I was still learning the fundamentals of streaming and hanging out and with that, you know, reading the chat, that sort of thing. Like, I don't really know that Twitch is better, honestly, at that stage anyway, because like discoverability is actually kind of harder because you're spending a bunch of time fighting bots and stuff that like
You might be better off starting on Tumblr and doing the live video there.
Yeah, Tumblr has a live stream option. I don't think Twitch going away is bad for streaming. I think Twitch going away is actually one of the best things that could happen for streaming.
Twitch and probably Amazon altogether.
Yeah, Amazon going away would be one of the best things for humanity. Amazon needs to be about 85 to 100 different smaller locally owned companies, if not hundreds. Like,
Yes.
well, in fact, one of the things, like Amazon is basically already just creating a bunch of local subcontractors for all their delivery network and stuff anyway.
True.
So, like, I mean, you know, people are like, well, I need Amazon to get my groceries. It's like, well, that local delivery company could get your groceries. Like, they're
Right, and they could keep all the money in your local economy.
yeah, the technology to order groceries online used to be so hard that only a company like Amazon could do it. But it's gonna get to the point, like, honestly, I mean, well, like that,
The same way that like
the point of sale systems that I built for like that catering company.
well, yeah.
Like anybody who's like a dummy who can use PHP and MySQL will be able to spin up a local grocery store delivery service
Well,
app.
yeah, it will get to the point where like it'll be the same thing as the kid who goes around the neighborhood asking, "Can I mow your lawn?"
Yeah.
Like just anyone can just be like, "Hey, can I get your groceries here? Yeah, here's my app. Like, you know, just let me know." Everybody's gonna have an app, multiple apps.
TurboJack says, I am conflicted on Amazon going away. I love AWS and I'm addicted to shopping on Amazon. Well, I mean, you know, I feel like that's like somebody saying, like, I love the convenience and low prices of Walmart. It's like, you're not wrong about the convenience or the low prices.
Or I don't want my tobacco to go away. I'm addicted to it.
But it's... It feels like...
I love it.
I really don't like people who don't live in my community having that much power in my community. That creates weird incentives. I want the grocery stores to be local so that they have connections with local farmers. That's like the turnip truck in Nashville is great because of that. Because the owner knows people in the area. He knows distributors to get stuff from other parts of the country, but like it's not...
Yeah, when you have these...
It's not somebody in Ohio making
Exactly.
decisions about our
It
city.
becomes faceless, and then they stop caring about people because it's just numbers to them.
Yeah. Like, how often do the people from Bentonville, Arkansas visit the Nashville Walmarts and see, like, are the shelves stocked? Are they carrying, like, the stuff
Right.
they should be...
Are
Like,
customers being cared for?
how are the lines? Like, if your corporate office is not inside one of your stores, your corporation might be too large.
Yeah, if you're not able to just be out there on the floor,
Like,
witnessing the day to day.
and that's one of the things that, you know, you notice in, like, manufacturing. You know, they'll have, like, the front office guys, but, like, the front office is literally adjacent the manufacturing facility. So they're coming into work, even if they're a front office guy, they've got to have the boots with the steel toe and goggles and earplugs and stuff, because they might have to go out and check something on the line. Like, I really, yeah, if Amazon wants to self-destruct or Twitch wants to self-destruct,
Yeah, or the government wants to break them up.
well, I'm looking at, like, what's in front of us here. Is like, they're making a lot of dumb choices, and everybody's like, what am I gonna do? And I'm like, the same thing I've been planning to do when they self-destruct this whole time.
Try to take over the world.
Yeah, well, no, I'm gonna self-host my own video and help other people learn how to do the same.
Oh.
But...
that sounds nice.
yeah. Shalom says, "Are you seeing a world where everything becomes decentralized and there's no huge monopolies?" I'm not describing what I see in front of me. I'm just saying I don't think it's what I would prefer. And if Amazon is going to incidentally stumble in that direction by screwing up Twitch, then I'm not gonna complain. Like, let them screw up. Let them give local people a chance. Because, like, realistically, you can pay to get set up with an RTMP streaming service a few $100s a month and be able to afford to host yourself and a few other people on it. And so, like, at that point, you can make your own rules. You don't have to worry about the company being like, well, we're based in a state that doesn't like trans people or something like that. You know, you can...
It's a lot of states.
Yeah. Like, I'm really glad that federal judge struck down that stupid Tennessee law. We are wasting way too much... Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Oh, because I cut you off there. This is something that you obviously might have things to say about, and I should not have continued my statement.
No, go on.
But, like, the Tennessee state legislature is just burning money on litigation. And it's stupid. It's a waste of everyone's time and everyone's money, and it's...
Yeah. And it's antithetical to being the party of small government.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're just all legislation all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't alter the course of their lives at all.
Mm-mm.
But it affects a very small number of people that just happen to include me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On the large and small business front, Kara K says, I think people are equally likely to be exploited by large or small businesses. Large businesses do it to more people at once. Well, here's the thing, Kara, is there's definitely people who run small businesses who are tyrants or bad bosses or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't like that company, you don't have to work with them. You can hire someone else to do it.
And you'll also probably witness it firsthand, like, oh, that person was a jerk to me on the phone. I don't know what the personalities of any of the executive leadership of Twitch or Amazon are like.
We don't see them around town.
So we don't get that impression that we're able to get from a local business and be like, yeah, I don't like the way I was spoken to there. I'm going to work with someone else.
Yeah, okay, so sometimes those guys testify in front of Congress, and other than that, you literally never see them, like, in any sort of...
And it's all very intentional.
Yeah. Whereas, like... local businesses, if you see the guy, hey, that's that guy who runs that company. He's in a restaurant being a jerk to someone. You can be like, you know what? Let's look at the other options.
Yeah.
Zam says it's easier to take a large company to court. The local bar owner can run off and I never see the money I'm owed. I mean, if that guy actually, like, fled the country, yeah, you're gonna have a hard time. But, like, the cost of that is him fleeing the country. Like, so, yeah, it's harder for an international business to flee the country, but they fold all the time, too, to avoid litigation. They will just declare bankruptcy. I mean...
They have protections and shell companies.
If somebody lives in your community and wants to keep living in your community, you can take them to court. Like, and it's going to cost you less than going after Amazon, because Amazon's going to slow walk everything, because they have an entire team of staff lawyers. Whereas in the small business situation, you're both paying lawyers hourly. And so that business guy is going to say, wrap this up as quick as you can. I want to win, but I want to win fast. Whereas Amazon's like, we want to win so slowly that we don't even care if we win. We want to just bankrupt you on legal fees.
Well, and also, like, there are review websites for a lot of local businesses, too, that you can still rely on.
Well, I'd rather talk to people.
Sure,
but
that's ideal, but, like, if it's something super specific...
Yeah. Oh, never mind. That tip that just showed up on the computer is the one from PayPal earlier.
Like, no one's reading a review of Amazon before they go use Amazon.com.
I was thinking about using Amazon.com, so I looked it up on Google, and some people said some mean things about Jeff Bezos.
Is Amazon.com a scam? That's what it's in my search bar. Are there products for real?
Yeah, Amazon. Lakshmi13 makes a great point that there is an element of fear-mongering. We've been trained to believe that Amazon is more trustworthy than our own neighbors.
Yep.
Like how the big companies' prepackaged candy is safer than our neighbors' baked goods. You're not wrong. There's definitely a food safety element there that is like a very low-level gut thing. And in Texas, they actually tried to pass a law to make it easier for people to like sell like roadside like empanadas and street corn and stuff. And it was like one of the most popular laws, right?
Right.
And then the governor vetoed it because he's a jerk who has like Burger King giving him money or whatever.
Yeah.
And
he's got the big elote.
Yeah, he's got the big elote money, and so like.
I think there is a fast food elote.
I think I'm not sure exactly how this case went. But like I think they were gonna. Let me look this up.
What was that, Greg Abbott?
Let me look this up.
Not a
Texas roadside food law. Texas cottage food production was basically to make it easier for people to sell certain types of food.
Right, have their carts.
But let's see. So there was a law in 2013 about it, and they tried to update it this year, and it looks like the update failed. Texas, what is the name of this law? Is it Cottage Food Law 2023? Bum bum bum. Yeah, so to like get a lot of the exemptions, you have to make less than $50,000 a year. Which, you know, if you're selling corn on the side of the road for $1 each, you might not sell $50,000 that year.
Yeah.
Like, Kaname's Cocoa Pie says, as someone who lives in the Philippines where there's street food everywhere, the idea of this is nearly incomprehensible. Yeah, like, hey, Jiao Yen, thank you for tipping 5. That's going to rotate us now to another 5 degrees, putting us only 190 away from our next goal. At which point we will be singing Karma, the Spice Ice version. Ice Spice. Ice Spice, baby. Doon, 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 doon. Doon, 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 doon. Glam Pixie says communities need to do better when these companies collapse because there won't be any resources for poor and disabled people. Small businesses have 1 million exemptions to being disability accessible, but large companies have minimal compliance requirements. I'm not too familiar with how that works at either the federal or the state level. I do know in terms of, at least in terms of physical facilities, I know in terms of websites, a lot of that stuff has now begun to apply at basically any scale. So I'm not sure how physical spaces are going to change. Kara K says, is that 50,000 profit or revenue? It looks like it was income, according to the, and part of the new law was to increase that cap to 100,000.
Well, that's too bad that.
So I'm not sure exactly. Like, when I read about this, it was, like, still in process, going back and forth.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the news ended up on this. So, okay. Arizona just passed a law to expand sale of cottage foods. but I'm not sure where the Texas one ended up. I don't know.
Mm.
Like I said, I've read about this in the middle of it, and I might have some of the facts muddled, so I don't want to go on too much about it. But yeah, like, have I seen the new prizes at the button? You mean the crowns? Or is there something else new?
Prizes at the button? What does this mean?
Sean Cockrell writes, I just got a new Android phone. When I first turned it on, I installed 2 recommended apps from my provider, one of which was the Amazon Shop app. There's no way for me to opt out of it except to uninstall it after the fact. Yeah, I don't love that either. I really, yeah. Okay, the button is on 1. Looks like somebody built a little AFK hut here.
Does that exist to keep them safe if they're AFK?
Yeah, so the monsters don't jump on them or whatever.
Don't jump on me, monsters. Mahi's 0. Whoa.
Kara K says, in terms of the ADA, though, both large and small businesses will have lots of violations, but if a local small business has an ADA violation and ignores it, you can more easily boycott it locally. In theory, I mean, if you're having to drive an extra 2 miles, like, if there's only one thing within your walking distance, you know, that's a separate thing.
Well, yeah. And if we're talking about ADA, we probably shouldn't even use walking as a metric of distance.
Well, like, what I mean is, like, pedestrian distance or
neighborhood,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, neighborhood. I mean, honestly, one of the worst things for accessibility and walking these days is those e-scooters that people keep leaving on the sidewalks.
Mm-hmm.
I keep having to throw them on the ground to get them off the sidewalk.
There was like a peak time where I saw people using them all the time, but I really don't see that many people using them anymore, so we should just get rid of them altogether.
Yeah. Well, for a while they were actually illegal in Nashville, which is when they dropped off, but they've started coming back because some new law or whatever.
Ew. We just need a good public transportation system.
I mean, I will say our bus system isn't as bad as people think it is. We
True.
we need more buses and we need more routes.
For sure.
I
would have liked to have dedicated bus lanes as well.
We need to have the ability to go into downtown Smyrna. Like, that's stupid that not only is there no pedestrian rail, there's also no... The bus line doesn't run that far.
Mm.
It stops, like, 2 miles north of Game Galaxy. And then it's, like, a commuter bus line, so it only runs at, like, rush hour. So, yeah. How's the accessibility on our public transport? They've got the buses with the ramps that pop out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've seen people in wheelchairs use them. I'd say maybe 1 in 5 times. 20% of the time I'm on the bus, I'll see somebody, and it's not like the same person every time. I'll see somebody in a wheelchair. They unfold the ramp. The bus driver unfolds the ramp with like a button. It's like a motorized ramp that comes down, and then they help the wheelchair person onto the bus. And then there's like tie-down straps for the wheelchairs in the front seating area. The front seats fold up. So it's not bad. It's definitely usable in that I have seen it used many times by many people. Am I... inside though? It's not ideal. More water. Boo. So we were going to talk about quantum leap and physical fitness.
We were.
Um,
Presidential physical fitness?
well, possibly, because if you quantum leaped back in time to the age that you're doing the Presidential Fitness Award, yeah, that's
Did
possible.
Sam Beckett ever leap into a president?
Oh, he was one of JFK's bodyguards, I think, and then he was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oh, we've all been Lee Harvey Oswald.
Have we? But I was thinking about like if I like theoretically like quantum leaped back in time to where I was like
Within your lifetime?
within my lifetime, and I was like,
So,
okay,
yeah, okay.
well, and possibly like into my own body as a child, right? Like if I leaped into my body when I was like 6 or 7 years old,
Okay.
I was thinking that
Early 90s.
one of the things I would do is I would probably start applying all the things I know about physical fitness and endurance training, because I would be living in an experience where I know for a fact that time travel exists,
Right.
but is not necessarily common. And for all I know, I feel like if I time traveled, I should assume that someone might be hunting time travelers.
That's fair assumption.
Right? And so I would probably start exercising way more than I do now. Like, just because I'm like, there's a lot of ways this can go, but I don't want to, like, get, caught by a time cop because I was too lazy to go jogging
Sure.
every day, And,
Maybe you'd learn some hand-to-hand combat.
yeah. Zhao Yan tipping another 10. That gets us flipped right round.
Zhao Yan, thank you for the 10, Zhao Yan.
So that puts us 180 away from Karma, the Ice Spice version. So I was thinking, but like, I was like, why? I'm not very motivated to exercise nowadays. Like, I don't like exercise for exercise sake. I'm the sort of person who I will go on a 10-mile hike because I like walking around a park for 10 miles.
Yeah, but the exercise wasn't the point.
But like, yeah, the exercise wasn't the point. If it's like, Joe, do you want to jog the same 3-mile loop around the neighborhood every day? No.
Joe, do you want to go to the gym?
No. Like,
what if you could bring a Game Boy and play Pokemon the whole time?
well, that was the sort of thing that I used to do to try and motivate myself. But like, realistically, it's like,
Realistically, who has the time?
yeah. I would rather do something that feels either more productive or exploratory or less repetitive. But like, to some degree, and so I was just trying to like mentally break down what does it say about my motivation that I would be absolutely willing to try to commit to a regular fitness schedule as part of a time travel adventure, but not part
In
of
your like 6-year-old body.
yeah, but like, like, I probably, if I was a time traveler, I probably would not participate in any sort of organized sports though,
Sure.
because it's just like I've got other stuff I'm doing with my foreknowledge. It's not a
You
good.
don't want to draw attention to yourself.
Yeah, it's not a
It's
good.
like how Clark Kent, no organized sports for that kid.
Yeah, it's just not a good idea.
Exactly.
But do you have a Ring Fit? I do have a Ring Fit, and I thought about streaming that because at least then it would be like a live stream, like entertainment thing.
Yeah.
The problem is I never quite got this room set up with enough space to
You need
do
more
it right.
space. You'd probably want like an overhead camera for some of the different workouts.
Yeah.
Some of the ab stuff. Like the camera would have to be roaming because you're going from the floor to standing.
Yeah. And so I don't know. But yeah, I've thought about doing some sort of physical fitness stream because me putting on a show every day where I like, okay, we're going to do sit-ups, we're going to do
Yeah.
push-ups, nothing with weights or anything. I don't like gym equipment is one of the things. Like I don't like physical stuff.
I did a stream once where I put a I was on a stationary bike,
Mhm.
and I put a green screen in front of me and put a camera behind me, and I played racing video games while I cycled.
Uh-huh.
But I had myself chromaed in front of the video game, so it looked like I was like cycling down the road.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That I would
And then
like.
I also had like a face cam view too, and I wore goggles the whole time because I was on the road.
Did you have a fan pointed at you?
No, I should have to like have the wind in my hair.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this because I'm trying to find adjacent ways to justify, like when. So
Well, so you would be like working out while also improving LED technology, right? 'Cause
yeah.
We talked about that.
We talked about the LED technology thing, and I've been like mentally working through like what else would I do differently?
What else would you do? Yeah.
And like I feel like I would be in way better shape. I would know way more about my body's like dietary problems, like before they got really bad. And
Yeah,
I would
alter your diet, or
I would
find
alter
a
my diet
medication right away.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the medication was because of the stress that my diet was putting on it or on my body. So like, there's a lot that I can
Sure.
avoid just
There's
by
things you can
not
do.
overstressing things in the first place,
True.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like, what would motivate me more to get more exercise in the present day? And like,
So you need like the threat of a time cop
or something.
in the present day to motivate your exercise.
Well, I think we talked about like the idea of like if you knew a zombie apocalypse was coming in a year.
Sure.
It's easier to just say, well, better get out there and exercise. Because it's like, I'm not in terrible shape. And in fact, a lot of times when I'm walking with other people or whatever, they're actually annoyed that I'm already moving too fast.
Yeah.
Like,
So.
but like, I'm not,
And there's probably
I'm not athletic.
Here, there's probably a concept here for like a gym that would involve these imminent threats to help motivate people.
There's a zombie horde app for the iPhone
Yeah.
where when you're running, you set a pace and you can hear the zombies coming behind you if you slow down too much.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's something.
Nordhazen says not having heart disease when you're 40 is a pretty good motivator. Well, at the same time, like, that's one of those like abstract things that like people don't get motivated by that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm saying like I need to accept that about myself. Like, when I look at that, I'm like, well, I already walk almost everywhere I can. Like, I get out on my feet plenty, but what I don't do is like get like intentional exercise. How do I motivate myself to get intentional exercise rather than just like a baseline of living a generally healthy and active life?
Right.
And I haven't quite figured that out. Badger, I'm sure you have plenty of useful skills to teach surviving generations. I'm really, for example, excited to see what you do with that VTech Bluey phone in terms of installing, Doom or watching Christopher Nolan films as the director intended.
That's what you would prefer.
Casta Boris says, pick up a physical hobby with friends. Yeah, I think I need to get more active with nudging the pinball machines, because honestly, like, I feel like my arms actually are starting to develop. A bunch of the smaller muscles are getting more developed the more I play.
Yeah.
So
you could kind of position yourself into a lunge as you play.
Yeah. Well, I did realize, like, you know how, one thing I've been experimenting with, and I did really well last night kind of paying attention to this, if I intentionally move my whole body, like, kind of swaying back and forth while I play, like, not just entirely swaying, but, like, just kind of moving with it.
Sure.
I think the more you move your head like that, you get additional depth information. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just getting more continuous depth information about the playfield by moving slightly forward and back and
Sure.
left and right. Because like
Keeping the brain active.
yeah, but also like getting a better mental map of what's in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, trying to be more active while I'm playing. Because I noticed, like, when I hear a song that's really good and I start kind of dancing a little bit while I play,
Right.
like, I play better. And I'm like, what if, regardless of the music, I start kind of moving my body a little bit more?
Well, maybe that's why.
And it's like, that actually is helping a lot.
Maybe that's why players often have like their own earbuds or headphones in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should have a playlist of songs that will always keep you moving.
Yeah, I personally would rather not do that. Because or maybe that would be fine for practicing, but like in general, I like to be aware of my surroundings. I feel like I would be less able to focus on the game if I felt like I had less information about my surroundings. Because
I'm the opposite, like I would want to focus solely on the game.
the thing is, though, that then when somebody jostles you because they're moving a keg or something, you're not as prepared for it. Like, you don't hear the guy coming up with the keg, and, like, you can even move slightly forward, get out of his way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it's a chaotic environment, and I feel like shutting out that chaos is not the best for me. For some people, it might be good, but, like, I feel like I need...
It worries you. I've never been jostled by a keg there, so...
Yeah, well, people bump into people. But yeah, if you're on, especially like if you're on the sorcerer game right next to the keg room, like the staff is like running in and out of there all the time.
Sure.
And like not knowing what's happening there is not ideal. Also, I want to be able to hear if somebody else notices something is wrong with the game that I haven't seen yet. Like if a ball gets stuck during multi-ball or whatever. Like there are reasons that during play you might need to hear the other observers.
That's fair.
It's not common, but it happens just enough, and when it does happen, it's very important. Like, to the point where you could get disqualified for that round if you don't immediately address whatever they're talking about. And, like, having headphones on isn't necessarily an excuse to ignore that.
Sure. Not that I wear headphones while I play.
Yeah.
Just talking about as a thing people do.
Badger says, keeping active definitely lessens Alzheimer's risks. Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't have a hard time being active. I have a hard time motivating myself to do, like, workouts.
Well, because all of your, or a lot of your exercise that just happens to happen is tied to survival, right? Like, I need to get food.
Yeah, I need to walk to the
go
grocery
walk
store. I
or-
need to walk to school to take care of or pick up my child. I need to, like,
Right.
I used to walk 3 miles to work and 3 miles back every day, and I'm not doing that anymore. But
Yeah, and so if there was a time cop coming after you or a zombie apocalypse on the brink, those are also tied to survival.
Nordhazen says, what's your fitness goal? Okay, this is actually a great point.
Yeah, what's your goal?
I don't
do
like...
you want to be swole?
No,
Do
that's
you want to be scrappy?
That's the thing is, I'm not the sort of person who's motivated by fitness goals, and I don't set that. What I want to do is I want to figure out what can I tweak to make it sustainable for me to exercise more intentionally regularly, not because I want to get anywhere in particular, but because I feel like if I found a way to make that work, it would probably be good. Right? My goal is to do something that might probably be good.
So maybe what you need, because we've talked about like having a studio space or something.
Yeah.
Like, what if you got a studio space that's like, you know, that's within your walking distance, that you knew like, oh, I have to go there to do my stream or whatever.
I think that would be good. One thing, though, is in the long term, anything like that, I also want to have within Badger's walking distance.
That's fair.
And so I wouldn't want it to be too far. But honestly, yeah, just getting out of the house is always good. But yeah, like, because right now I have
Because it sounds like for you, it needs to be tied to things that you already are doing.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm trying to
So-
figure out ways to make it work. Like, I honestly think, like, what you described with, like, the exercise bike in front of the green screen,
Yeah.
like, if I was just like, we're gonna do a exercise bike show for 4 hours, or I don't know how long people ride exercise bikes for, you
As
know,
long as they want.
yeah,
As long as they ride a well, all bikes are exercise bikes, I suppose.
yeah. More hikes with Corinne would definitely benefit both of you. Yeah, I like hiking with Corinne. Ironically, the number one reason we don't go hiking more is parking. Because the trailheads around here can't keep up with the number of cars, and there's
Yeah.
no good bus service to the trailheads. And that's really infuriating.
There's not really overflow parking or anything either. It's just...
Yeah, Radnor Lake in particular is so beautiful, but, like, yeah, good luck getting parking unless you go at, like,
Radnor
5
has
in
some
the
strange
morning.
rules, too.
Oh, yeah, what kind of rules have they got?
I think somebody told me, like, you're not allowed to run there.
You're not allowed to eat there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a bunch of endangered species and stuff
Right.
in that. It's like a protected area that happens to have hiking, more than like a hiking destination.
It's not about you.
It's not, and that's one of the cool things about it, and
Right.
why it's so beautiful and interesting. But yeah, you can't say, oh yeah, let's have a picnic at Radnor Lake, because with the types of creatures they have there, they don't want the food being introduced to the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Cavman suggests that parallaxing might be the word for moving your head so you can detect depth better. That sounds correct. That sounds
Yes, you attain a certain parallax view.
by moving your head, yeah.
Yeah.
That's thank you. Yeah, because I knew that word in relation to generating 3D depth effects,
Sure.
but not necessarily in relation to your own perception.
Right.
So that's a cool suggestion. Shalom says, I bike a lot, and I don't think I could ever use a stationary bike. One of the problems I have is that we don't have a good place to store bikes in my current apartment. And I'm hoping that's something we can fix, because I want to get Corinne a bike.
Yeah.
But she's also growing so fast that, like, if I bought her a bike now, I'd have to buy her a new bike in a year. Like...
No, I mean, she's tall enough that you could just buy her an adult bike at this point.
I think she's going to be too tall for a normal adult bike. I think she's going to need, like...
Wow.
Like, she's... My point is, though, I'm not going to buy it until we have a place to store it either way.
Sure.
And so I'm gonna make myself
Either
feel
having
better
a
about...
garage or be able to wall mount.
Yeah, or something. Like,
Yeah,
the
you
walls
can't-
in this place are so weak. Anything I put on... Like, they're like, don't put stuff on the walls. It'll fall out.
Right.
Like, all the towel racks have come down.
Yeah. I mean, they do make fairly decent folding bikes now that are easier to store.
Yeah, they're also
they're
really
pretty
expensive. Like, I'm just gonna... Yeah. I'm not gonna stress about it, because it's kind of like, oh man, I would love to get better stuff for the kitchen, but I don't have room to... Because the kitchen's so small. I'll worry about that when we have a different kitchen.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, not gonna borrow trouble.
No, not going to borrow trouble. I think I'm gonna take a short break.
Okay.
can
Do you
stay
mind,
here.
if you're going down to
Going
the
downstairs,
kitchen, do you
yeah.
mind getting me a Coca-Cola in a pint glass, please?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Pint of Coke coming right up.
Yay.
Woo!
Push-up channel redemptions. Maybe. Like, that actually is kind of... That might be closer to the sort of thing. Because I was looking at getting a foot pedal like Impulse has anyways, and getting a camera to show, like, how that works. So being able to use the push-up cam while foot pedaling. I was like, why did I stop working on this? Oh, yeah, that's right, because I ran out of wood. Yeah, I left so we could go chop wood, and then I didn't chop any wood. We just got distracted and looked at the button, flew around and broke a bunch of stuff, and bought some shulkers, and... Okay. Yeah. You can get a freestanding bike rack or one that braces between the floor and ceiling. Had to find one. I lived in a small apartment. Well, in terms of the freestanding one, you still need the floor space. We'll come back to it later. This is just not a good apartment for any of that stuff. Like, the layout is stupid. It's really frustrating for a lot of reasons, and I don't want to live here forever. So, I'm not gonna. The thing is, I don't want to spend a bunch of money routing around the problems of this apartment. Like, I had to saw my what do you call it? I had to saw my box spring in half to get it around a tight corner to get it into the master bedroom. There's no way to get a queen size box spring into the master bedroom without literally sawing it in half, folding it over, and then putting steel plates on the sides and like screwing them back in. So like I just, but like the thing is, I could do that with my existing box spring. I wasn't going to go out and buy like a special custom disassembled box spring like they sell online. I wasn't just to accommodate how stupidly built this place is, right? I'm going to adapt what I already have. And what I already have is no place to put a bike, and I'm just going to be fine with it. I'll deal with that later. Yeah, a kayak would also... I would love to have a kayak or a canoe, but my car isn't really good for moving those. And I don't have storage for it either. I could pogo stick to places they store easily. Yeah, that's true. What did we come up here to do? Oh, yeah, chop down trees. I'm just gonna chop. La da 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 da. Just a quick reminder, we are 180 away from our next goal, at which point the Beetlejuice will be singing the Ice Spice version of Karma. Come to the Wild West, Oregon, Washington, California. Yeah, it would be very challenging for me to move out west. If I move at all, it would be best if I was moving in the direction of my daughter's mother from a custody standpoint. Moving further away from the other child's parent is generally viewed as hostile unless you have a good reason. Like, there's an opportunity here in Washington I couldn't have had otherwise. So, for example, if, like, Penny Arcade wanted to hire me, and I was like, there's nothing else like Penny Arcade in the world, and they're in Washington State, I have to go, then that's fine. But if I'm like, I'm a self-employed streamer who can work from anywhere, I just want to have room for a bike, the judge is going to go, you don't need room for a bike. You can't move 2,000 extra miles away from where your kid's mom lives. That's not cool, right? So, yeah. I'm pretty happy with the job I have. Yeah, I've been looking at those inflatable kayaks, but I don't even have room to store, like, one of those right now. Like, this apartment is pretty much maxed out. We actually have, I would say, more furniture than we should have, because I'm assuming we'll have a better apartment later, so I don't want to throw away the furniture we don't have room for now. So I've just got stuff, like, piled up, and it's awkward, and... Hello!
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Coca-Cola?
Did you get something for yourself, too?
Oh, I had a granola bar.
Okay, cool.
I brought that with me and meant to eat it before the stream.
I was gonna say, we've also got fruit cups if you want fruit cups.
No, I'm good.
All right. They're like
I'll
Jello
have
ones.
lunch at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at this here.
Let's look at this here.
I chopped down some more logs so we can work on the plywood. We've actually got pretty good coverage now.
Yeah, I also spoke with your daughter briefly.
Oh, how's she doing?
She's doing well. She's watching the stream.
Oh, hi, daughter. She's like, I hate that voice. I'm done. Checking out.
Deuces. She says we're doing really well, so
Yay.
doing a great job, Joe.
Yay, I try. Okay. Oh, wait. I don't know why I extended that far. That's too far. We've gone too far. Watching you drink upside down is strange. What color is Quinn's guitar? Wood?
Wood color?
Yeah, it's
pretty standard.
It's because of the
acoustic
Beetlejuice
guitar
effect,
color.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wood grain? What are you doing, Joe?
I'm trying to get back out there.
Trying to get back out there. Where is there, Joe?
Gestures broadly toward the large hole.
Broadly towards the large hole in this big direction.
How am I not there yet? Like, I really feel like I should be there by now.
So do I.
I don't think I got turned around because I'm clearly still under the machine. I see the roof. Hey, there it is.
There we are. There we are.
Okay. Well, so we've actually gotten pretty far this way. Okay.
How are we doing on our goals and our numbers and our
That's a fantastic question.
rotations?
We are 180 away from our next goal, singing Karma, the Ice Spice version.
180, that's only half a rotation away.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay.
And what time will we probably wrap up?
I think we'll be wrapping up in about 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
At around 11 o'clock, because
at
you've
the
got
hour.
somewhere you got to be, and we wanted to hang out with Corinne a little bit first.
Yes, definitely.
So.
Yeah, I don't mind talking a little bit about why I need to be somewhere.
Oh yeah, if you'd like to. I didn't want to bring it up in case it was.
No, I'm not gonna disclose my location, but I do want to bring up that I learned yesterday that I need to, or probably should, it's best advised to legally change my name before July 1st, because at that point SB 1440 will go into effect. That basically writes trans people out of the legal code and would make it incredibly difficult for me to change my name and get my ID changed and all of that. So I have an appointment this afternoon to kind of help get that all going, and hopefully I can get everything filed in time as well.
Yeah, just in case anybody's curious, I've got the text of that bill here. But yeah, it's a pretty short one page, but it's gonna make everybody's life way more challenging.
Yeah, and Inclusion Tennessee has a place where you can apply for financial assistance, because Name change filing fees can be like $100 to $300. I'll post that link in the Discord, and then Joe, you can,
Yeah, post it in the Discord.
and then you can choose to post it elsewhere. If anyone else watching is in Tennessee,
And needs
this
help
is
changing their name.
exactly.
So I will post that inclusion.org/TNNCP.
And that applies to Tennessee statewide. So, yeah, it's a difficult time in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done this before because I knew it came at a cost, and also I knew it was something I wanted to do, but it was like, well, I can just do that at a later time, you know. Now I probably can't do it at a later time. So
Yeah. Well, it's good you're getting that taken care of.
getting it taken care of.
Good you're letting other people know in case this wasn't on their radar that there is a time factor for them.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we're now 1 week into the month, so, you know, time's running out.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh. But yeah, I keep coming back to this exercise bike idea. The thing is, that doesn't necessarily work with my current studio layout.
Sure.
But like in the long term, having that as an option might make sense. Are you interested in that Gran Turismo movie they showed a trailer for?
I kind of am, actually.
I was not expecting to be interested in that, but the actor saying that it was really cool that the guy he was playing was the stunt driver for the film,
Yeah.
that got me back in. Like, there's a certain level of authenticity I appreciate, and, like, I kind of want to go see how they pull it off, even though it's not necessarily something that I would normally be interested in.
No, and it's a film in a long line of films, you know, like The Wizard, you know, where there's a video game contest.
There's a video game contest at the heart of it. But like, yeah. It looks like the I mean, honestly, I don't the fact that they're using real cars and they're having the actual driver drive the car.
Right.
Instead of just being like, well, you know what, we can just CG it. It's a video game movie.
It's a video game movie.
Like,
the video game is CG.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Yeah, why would we have real cars in it? Like, yeah, seeing the behind the scenes stuff, it looks like they actually are trying to make something interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm gonna be rewarded for my curiosity there, but
Sure.
I think I'm probably gonna see it. Probably not in theaters, but at some point.
Right.
I'm more interested than I expected to be.
Same.
I was anticipating like, who cares about? I don't know, because I never really played the Gran Turismo games myself.
Sure.
It's like when they come out with a Resident Evil movie. I'm like, that's great for the people who like Resident Evil. I don't dislike Resident Evil. I just never really had a console that had the games. Because I think they were like a PlayStation and GameCube exclusive for a while, and I didn't have a GameCube or a PlayStation.
Well, you had a GameCube. You just...
No.
Yeah.
I borrowed one from Art sometimes, but like...
No, when we were kids, like, you convinced Dad to buy us a GameCube.
Did we have a GameCube?
Yeah. It was a black GameCube. We got it, like, right around when it came out in, like, December of 2001. So, yeah, you would have only been able to play it for, like, 3 years, but... Yeah, we had Double Dash, we had Final Fantasy, Crystal Chronicles. we had a GameCube.
I really wonder if this is something you guys got after I went to college.
No.
Because the Wii was out by then.
No. I remember distinctly we went down to Alabama for a trip to like see EWTN and a bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time you were just trying to convince Dad to buy us a GameCube.
And I succeeded.
And you succeeded. But I also know with your subsequent illness, a lot was kind of lost.
I remember playing GameCube at Art's house distinctly. And I remember borrowing his Animal Crossing one time in high school. But like we borrowed the whole console.
No.
I remember Art used to bring his GameCube to Dad's store, and we would play it there. But it seems like if we were going to play the GameCube at Dad's store and we had a GameCube, we would have brought ours? I really wonder if this is something that happened after I left. Like, I might have been trying to convince him to get one the whole time, but
Yeah, maybe I disconnected the two in my mind.
Yeah, like...
Let me consult another sibling.
This feels like something that happened after I went to college. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't know if the timeline is right.
Mm.
To learn more about Quinn Hills, you can visit tumblr.com/Quinn Hills.
I've sent a message out to our brother CJ.
CJ would probably remember this.
He would know. He was there.
Yeah.
He remembers it all too well.
Yeah, I remember I bought a PlayStation used, like my senior year, and that was a big deal. And I don't think it would have been as big a deal if we already had a GameCube.
Hmm.
But, like...
Maybe. I thought it was a big deal because, like, there were... like Final Fantasy games on it that we were able to play that we wouldn't have played on.
Yeah, like we played
Final
Tactics.
Tactics.
We
had
played
already
DDR.
played Final Fantasy VIII on the
PC. Yeah. Yeah, that came out when I was in 8th grade for the PC, and one of my friends loaned us his CD-ROMs. Okay, so... I need more rockets. I've been thinking about, like, also, like, trying to get some sort of, I don't know, something in the house to... get more hand-eye coordination practice, even when I don't have a pinball machine.
Oh, like a dartboard?
Maybe. Like, a dartboard is something you hang on a wall. And the walls here... I worry if I threw a dart and I hit a wall, it would look like somebody punched a hole in it. These are not good walls for dartboards. So... But yeah, like, something... I was like, something cheaper than a pinball machine. But, like... So I'm like... But also something I could do by myself when Corinne's gone for the summer. And I was like, an air hockey table is not a good choice because for one thing we don't have room, and for another thing they're gigantic. But I'm like, Castor Boris says juggling. Yeah.
What about like a basketball basket that someone would wear on their head, and then another person tosses balls into it?
Where would we even find something like that?
I have one in my car.
You don't say.
I do say.
Do you want to go get it? No.
I could go get
It's
it
like I
right
just
now.
got you a soda. I'm not going to get you a
It's not,
basketball.
It's not green, so it would show up.
It
on
would show
screen.
up on stream.
Okay, you were correct. The GameCube was bought for Peter for Christmas, probably around Christmas 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Art's GameCube in the house while Art was on vacation in high school to keep his Animal Crossing town active.
That's what I thought.
And he says we had a PS1 when Joe was in high school for DDR and Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this timeline does work out.
It does work out.
Yeah.
I guess you were not successful in convincing Dad.
No, that's the thing is I was like, I feel like I would remember that if I was successful at that.
Yeah.
Like, that's the sort of thing I'd be very proud of.
Well, because I think I link it because, like, in my mind, it was like Joe was always having to, like, jump through some kind of hoops to get a console in the house, like writing a book report on the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. That happened, right?
That
I
did
didn't make
happen.
that up.
No, you did not make that
And
up.
you were, like, what, 7 years old?
I think I was in 4th grade. I think I was 10 or 3rd grade maybe.
10?
Maybe I was 9.
Like 1995?
Dude. Yeah, because like Sonic 3 wasn't out yet when we got the Genesis. Sonic 2 was.
Hold on. I think Sonic 3 came out in, like, 94.
We could always use Corinne's batons. That's true. Cornhole. Yeah, we could get, I could make a cornhole board on the craft stream. That's a good suggestion.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 came out in 1994.
Okay.
So you probably were like
8 then, I guess.
Yeah, 7 or 8. Reading about Ben Franklin and writing a report on it.
That's a good workout. You're looking for some DDR. Oh boy, I am not good at dancing games. Like, that's one of those things where I thought, like, oh, if I practiced more, I would get better at them. And
yeah.
maybe
There was also a time we believed where if we got better at dancing games, we would be better at dancing, and that's not true.
like
Nobody dances like that.
the thing is, I will say, I think that being good at DDR did help Tall John get good at rhythm, because then he like picked up percussion later, and I think
It can work for some people, sure.
yeah, I think, you know, it can teach you certain fundamentals about like paying attention to the beat, but I think part of it for me is I could never quite just catch the groove. I don't know. Which was one of the things I tried to fix by picking up the bass, and is the part of bass playing that I'm worst at. And I'm pretty bad at all of bass playing. So
Yeah, and you haven't played it in a while.
no.
But your instructor is now an attorney, so
Oh, he is?
yeah, in
Oh,
New
so
York City.
He's even more unaffordable.
Yeah. But he still charges by the hour.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what's he up to these days? 1,600 an hour. Okay.
He was in some bands around Nashville, with like other people who had gone to our high school from like
Well,
after your time, of course.
yeah. What's that Copeland kid doing? He was in a band for a while, and they made a video of him, like, playing banjo poorly on purpose, like, as a comedy video.
You're talking about Stuart Copeland?
I think so.
Or Will Copeland?
Which one was the younger one? I think
Will was the younger one who was doing stand-up comedy.
yeah.
He was doing we saw him at a couple like corporate juggernaut shows.
Yeah.
Which was a stand-up comedy collective group that James Austin Johnson was also a part of, who's now a member of the SNL cast.
Yeah, I actually saw him at Fido when he announced he was going to California. He's like, you might think this is a joke, but I'm going to Los Angeles. I was like, wait, what?
Oh yeah, I think I was at that show too. I remember that
And then
show at Fido, yeah, like in the side room.
And then people are like, he's on Saturday Night Live. And I'm like, that can't be the same guy, because Saturday Night Live isn't in Los Angeles.
Well, he did live in Los Angeles before he went to New York.
Yeah, apparently.
People can move.
Wiggle, wiggle. Badger Spanner says I have a yo-yo in the house.
Yeah, that's a hand-eye
Yo-yo is hand-eye coordination.
Yeah,
that's
they're relatively affordable,
yeah.
from what I recall.
Well, and if there's one, like, already here somewhere, then...
Is there?
Well, like, there's, like, a drawer of Badger stuff.
Oh, Badger means in this house.
I think that's the implication. But I'm not sure.
Let's see, we probably got a little less than 20 minutes left.
Mazel Bob says, learning bass to teach yourself how to catch the groove seems inverted. Well, the thing is, though, I'm like, sometimes if my brain doesn't wrap itself around something properly, I'm like, well, let me try it from a different angle. Let me try learning some of the fundamentals or other parts of it, right? Like,
yeah.
And then, like, I just kind of hope it'll click if I try it from enough different sides, something will work, or the combination of the things will work.
Well, and it's like your exercise we were talking about earlier. You're motivated by like survival, and you have this need to catch the groove.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, you're a groove hunter.
Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
You're a groove hunter and gatherer.
Mm-hmm. I will say, one thing that did motivate me to get out and, like, go jogging was Pokemon Go for a while, but then they removed support for the Watch app. And
That's a bummer.
yeah, and they're like, you gotta buy our special Pokemon Go hardware watch. And I'm like, I'm already running with a fitness tracker that you have, like, support for, that you're now withdrawing. And it's like...
Yes, that was a gigantic mistake. Niantic.
Yeah. Gigantic, Niantic mistake.
Niantic.
But, like, I don't want to pull my phone out while I'm jogging.
Niantic. A big, big mistake.
Like, let me just spin the Pokestop on my watch.
Let me spin this Pokestop on my watch. So much to ask for.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they made that change, and then hardly anyone plays it anymore.
I mean, that's literally the day I quit. I was just like, done. I was like, okay, you have made it clear that I am not your target audience. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy your extra hardware so that you can lay off your watch developer.
Yeah.
Because it would also show, like, if there were any Pokemon nearby that you wanted to catch, and there was a bunch of cool stuff.
Yeah. Those days are gone.
Lord Zetha says, I think there was a Guitar Hero-like game that works with real instruments. And Doug suggests it's called Guitarsmith. I think it's called Rocksmith, actually, because our friend Art has it in his living room.
It's both.
Is it both?
Guitarsmith is, focused on the guitar-like instruments, but, yeah, Rocksmith, also has drums and whatnot.
Ah, thank you, Quinn.
You are welcome, Joseph.
Quantum Jump says, hello, Quinn, from another she-they Quinn.
Hello, she-they Quinn.
Woo, Baka Whites. Twubble?
Wobble.
Twubble?
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear.
Oh, I saw this thing on Twitter where somebody was just like, you know, I'm not saying this works for all of Shakespeare, but you could definitely do some of it Beastie Boys style, where it's like, boil, boil, toilet, trouble!
Yeah, it probably does work. It probably does work.
Fire burning cauldron, bubble! Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. This is just kind of one of those like sculpting projects where I don't have a clear vision of exactly what it's going to look like at the end, but I'm just like, if I just kind of keep like widening it and kind of rounding it out, it'll eventually kind of look interesting in a way that I'm just like, okay, now it's done. The Quins, they're multiplying.
They're multiplying, and I'm losing control. But that power, Quinn's supplying.
There's no denying. Okay. So we are into the last 15 minutes of the stream. I should go ahead and post the tipping link one more time. We're 180 away from our final goal. The final goal now. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do is, like, instead of being like, you know, I need to find ways to motivate myself to do push-ups during the stream. It's like, maybe at certain, like, face camera expansions, I just get up and do, like, the Job final countdown dance with the knife in the teeth. You know, from Arrested Development.
Oh, yeah.
Because he opens...
Hopefully not a real knife in your teeth.
Well, I mean, like, you know, with practice. I'm not going to buy an extra fake knife. I'm not a magician. Okay.
It's not a trick, Joe.
It's an illusion. Badger Spanish says, definitely been done. I'm guessing that's about the Beastie Boys thing. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. But I don't know. Or you talking about somebody else has done the final countdown as a
rotational goal?
Or like as a tipping goal or something. Because the thing is, well, the thing about this is I would be doing the dance. I wouldn't be playing the music, like, because I don't have the rights to it. I would be like singing the final countdown. Well, like pulling scarves out of my arms or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like Job has the exact same opening to every act the entire time in Arrested Development. That's part of the joke, is that he never changes that part of his act.
Well, it's the best part. I mean, why would you change it?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke.
Oh. One thing I was going to talk about is I started rewatching For All Mankind, because we're kind of getting into... So the beginning of For All Mankind starts in June.
1969.
Yep. It was the summer of '69. And
some guys from school.
I always forget how good a show it is, because I'm like, yeah, most of it's pretty good, but there's all these like great little character moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so
That's a good show.
Yeah. It's like, because like in one episode, they've got the first class of women astronaut candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Yeah, and there's all these kids who wrote letters, like different ages, like some of them elementary school, some of them like high schoolers or whatever, to the astronaut candidates, and they have like actual like little girls or teenagers or whatever reading the letters out loud,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, that's so cute, blah, blah, blah. And then, but then like the next episode where there's actually a woman in space, and the guy Deke Slayton, who's the head of the astronaut office, is reading a letter to the first woman astronaut over the radio while she's orbiting the moon, and it's like clearly like this is like an ex-Navy 45-year-old man trying to read a letter from a 6-year-old,
Right.
and he's just like, Dear Molly, my name is Abigail, and my dad said that I couldn't play with my brother's rocket models. And like, but like, he's like, I'm not a good enough actor to awkwardly read this child's letter with the intensity of the guy who plays Deke Slayton as like this former Navy guy who's now in charge of the astronaut office.
Right.
And he's reading.
It's pretty gruff.
Yeah, he's this really gruff guy, and he's reading this letter, and it's just like, oh my gosh, and like I'm just like breaking down crying. I've seen this episode like 5 times, and I'm like, the show is so good. Like, I really,
It's a good show. I recommend it as well.
yeah, like it definitely holds up on the rewatch, at least season 1. Yeah, like I haven't rewatched the latest season yet.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted to give it time before, like, I think the new season's coming out this fall, so I'm trying to just catch up over the summer on rewatching all the old ones.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler to say that it's an alternate timeline.
No, it's an alternate timeline show.
But for, our recent history.
Yeah.
And it ends up being like a much more progressive world quicker, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Basically, the premise is, what if the Soviets trolled the United States into spending a bunch of money on space instead of a bunch of money on nuclear weapons?
And so the space race continued rather than the race for nuclear arms and all that fun stuff.
It's a really fun show. Like, you could tell it's fun because I sob every time I watch it, but I'm like, everybody's trying so hard. They just want to not die in a vacuum.
Just like all of us.
Yeah. The show is called Strange New Worlds. No, not Strange New Worlds. For All Mankind. Sorry. Yeah, For All Mankind. It's
But we also watched Strange New Worlds.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Strange. I was just thinking Strange New Worlds is coming back. And I saw that great Boimler thing. Let me post.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was an exchange kind of like that, though, on the actual
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the tweet here. Let me... no, I think I posted it in Arts and Entertainment. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, so somebody posted this screen cap with a fake caption. But, like, honestly, this could actually be dialogue from the show. Where Boimler and Mariner are like, before you ask, no, we can't tell you anything about your future. And Pike is just like, I know all about my future. And Boimler goes, even the beep beep chair? And Pike goes, especially the beep beep chair. It's like, That is a fun angle for a time travel episode to have, like, it's like, oh, no, don't worry, I've already had my future spoiled for me.
Right, exactly.
5 minutes.
5 minutes remaining. We're 180 away from our goal. Hello, Iced here. Glad you could join us. Okay, while we wrap up the show, Quinn, you're still accepting commissions for music, isn't that correct?
I sure am.
And they can find the rates for that on your website at redactedhills.com
RedactedHills.com.
for $100.
Starting at $100.
Yeah, they can get 7 seconds of anything that could be like your walk-on music for your baseball game or Mystery Pinball Theater 3000.
Could be a very short theme song. Could be a voicemail message.
Mm-hmm. For a 30-second theme song or less, you could do $400. That includes a consultation and a revision, vocals, and up to 3 instruments. NJ Coffee Junkie got one of those for NJ's show and writes, Quinn is worth every penny, can confirm.
Oh, thank you, NJ.
Thank you, NJ, indeed. And then you've got some other larger projects people can look at too at redactedhills.com. Let's go ahead, though, and get your Tumblr out there as well. Tumblr.com/QuinnHills.
Tumblr. I've got a Patreon.
Ooh, where's...
Patreon.com/RedactedHills.
Let me pull that up real quick. Okay.
And there's like over, I don't know, 50 different songs and demos on there that you might not find elsewhere, that you definitely won't find elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And you can listen to those starting at $5 a month. Every time I stream myself working on a song, I always upload the newest demo to the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see the iterative process of everything and kind of note how everything changes, which is really cool.
Very, very cool. If you like that behind the scenes, go check that out. Okay, and then, are you using Blue Sky?
Yeah, I'm on Blue Sky. I forget. I guess I'm just Quinn Hills on Blue Sky, but
Yeah.
I forget what the actual...
I don't know how to link somebody's Blue Sky account now that I'm thinking
This is
about
the
it.
wrong Blue Sky.
Oh, is it?
I think so. That looks like a map.
That does look like a map app. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If you're on Blue Sky and you type in Quinn Hills, I'll probably show up.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So then that leaves twitter.com/redactedhills.
Yep.
So here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do.
Do-do-do-do-do.
12 Ooey says, I can vouch for Quinn's Tumblr BT Dubs. She's lovely on there. For real.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you very much, 12 Ooey. Okay. Let's see. I think we
Did
are...
we mention Twitch?
Thank you. I was like...
Twitch.tv/RedactedHills.
Redacted Hills. Oh no, I accidentally closed the YouTube
Oh,
window.
no.
I gotta reopen that, sorry. I was like, wait, hold on, I'm hearing more music somewhere.
Me too.
What window is that coming from? Oh, that's your Twitch. I was like, how are you doing 2 guitars? You get a delay pedal or something over there? That was... Because I could tell it was the same guitar, though.
It is the same.
Because
guitar.
I'm like, acoustically, that's the same instrument. Not just like, oh, that's also a guitar, but I'm like, that is the same guitar. Okay. Mahi Zero Wo says, if you consider re-recording Binge Watch Rap with an updated name,
Absolutely.
we can't afford it, basically. Or I can't afford it. And Quinn shouldn't have to work for free. But that is in my long-term goals of things to afford list.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a few things we could update about Binge Watch Rap.
Yeah, I'm trying.
But yeah,
I think the HermitCraft season 8 rap might say my dead name, or I don't know.
I'm not sure. The season 8 rap though is like specifically a snapshot in time,
Sure.
and like whereas the Binge Watch Rap is intended to be timeless, and so I feel like it's more. If we had to choose one to pay to fix,
Sure.
I want to pay to, and like there might be other stuff to update. I feel like updating the Binge Watch Rap at the end of the year when season 10 launches might be a good time to do it,
Okay.
because then I can feel better about not having the money now. This is like the bike thing. If I can't afford something anyway, I'll find reasons to justify that it's just as well. It'll be better to do it when I will have the money.
Yeah, it's all too well.
Yeah. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So, let's see. Doug says, I too grew up poor. Yeah, that might be where that comes from.
Grew up poor.
Yeah.
We just live poor. This is
Well,
beyond growing
I'm
up.
not. Okay, I don't think I'm in a position to say I'm poor, but I'm definitely living paycheck to paycheck, and I don't have a lot of discretionary income. But like,
Yeah, I mean,
I
to
am.
me, that's
I am paying to live in like a very expensive city with a
true.
3-bedroom apartment. Like, I just sent my kid to space camp. I would be lying if I said I
Well,
was
poor
poor.
is yeah.
I would be lying if I said I was poor. I am definitely living paycheck to paycheck though. And I have definitely I definitely don't have a lot of capital.
Working class, maybe.
But
how would you describe it then?
I don't like
Lower
labeling things in
middle class?
general, but
Yeah.
like I wouldn't say I'm poor.
That's fair.
Like let's see. I mean, I've got like yeah.
I mean, if we're looking at it in those terms, we didn't always grow up poor.
I mean, our parents usually. I think our parents were a lot worse off than I am financially, because they were constantly in $25,000 to $50,000 of credit card debt.
Oh, okay.
Like they.
If that's the metric, then I'm poor.
And I'm not saying that you can't describe yourself as poor.
That's fair.
But like, no, I would say we grew up poor, and I've tried to avoid that for my child. I haven't done a great job of avoiding it. Like, I'm like one step away.
Sure.
But like, I'm not there. Like, it's tighter than I'd like. So
Things can always be better.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, on that incredibly positive note, I need to think. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's see. Nobody that I follow is playing a game that I want to recommend. So let's see if anybody's playing pinball. Oh, dang it, I need to mute that.
Muting.
Yeah, I don't know any of these people. I at least know Cirque Voltaire as a game. But I don't know this. Is this streamer gonna be cringe? Okay. Well, it looks like they're not actually playing the game.
No.
It looks like they're AFK. Oh, no, it's just my frame rate is bad because of the... That's on my end. Okay. Okay, well, someone named Cheese Viking Game... Oh, it's a no mic stream. Never mind.
And no camera either.
No camera, no mic.
So what are we even
I don't
taking
know.
in?
It's the worst part of streaming. I really like...
I know. If we were just
Like,
streaming off of the Joe Hills app, this would...
yeah, I wouldn't have to
worry
do
about
this. Yeah, I don't... yeah, I think we're just not going to do a raid today. I don't know these games, or I can't recommend these games. I don't like the people
we
making
can't
some of
vouch.
them. I can't vouch for the people that I am seeing streaming. We're just gonna peace out. I don't really know that guy, NJ. Anyway, until next time, y'all. This is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring, dude. And Quinn Hills.
And Quinn Hills.
And we did at least post the links this time, right?
We did.
Yeah. Stop streaming.